Don't stop rolling. This technically is take 4. You ain't lying.
We cannot get on the same page because Brittany keep interrupting me.
Cat.
So tell them about how you felt when you saw the Disney commercial today.
Excitement, joy. When we had it on the show, Caitlin and I were excited together.
Who's Caitlin?
My producer. She's white and I'm black, and we both were excited. I even talked about it in the show. I'm like, woo, my producer is excited about this one.
Well, here's the situation, you two.
I mean, it brought together me and Liz in Michigan.
As
Amen, somebody.
many Disney movies do. But here's the situation. The Beauty and the Beast trailer for the new movie came on TV today. And Brittany went into a trance of excitement. And so she just started carrying on, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's a problem here. Because I hear the music and I hear John Legend singing. But once they start playing all the characters, I see no minority representation. So that led us to a whole discussion about princesses, right? And what is your thought on princesses, Brittany? You said that you were. Hey, brother. Hey.
It's gone, honey.
We're talking here.
It's gone. You have to let it go. I mean, yeah, I've had this complex, and I remember when I was working at a TV station, and I remember like going to Mike and being like, I've never been the ugly girl, and Mike was like, girl, you ain't the ugly girl, you the black girl, you know. And there's this complex that the white is beautiful, and that, you know, I probably do get that from Disney movies. So it was like, it hit me, and I wanted to be excited, but you couldn't. And then, speaking of which, it reminded me about a conversation that I had with Liz, who was one of my old anchors back in Michigan, WEYI, Flintstone. And I called her, and I'm like, Liz, you posted a picture with your daughter, who is white, and this black baby doll. And I said, girl, like, I can't believe it. And I called her, and I was like, that is a big deal. Like, I'm so glad that you let that in your house. Like, you know, because I thought I was just going to have black baby dolls in my house and no white baby dolls. And she was like, girl, your kids will teach you stuff. She was like, I didn't pick that doll out like she did, you know. And she named it some name that's just not black people name. It was like, whatever the name was, it was like, girl, you got to rename the baby. And then Liz was like, should I tell her to rename it? I'm like, no. You know, you let the child be a child. Kids don't notice that. It's the adults. We do. We see color. Them kids don't see color.
Well, I agree. Some points.
What was that baby's name?
I think it's important to see color. I just think the only thing about Disney movies is that I think it's oversaturated with whiteness, and very few of them have any representation of other minorities. So why
is that?
I don't know, but I just like when you have a little girl who
we have Mona now, and we just have.
I mean, it's doing a lot better. They have video. They're coming out with movies now that represents that has minority representation.
We truly don't have many.
But when we came up, when you thought of a princess, you wouldn't have thought of a princess to be an African American princess or a Mexican princess or an Indian princess or whatever. Like unless your parents did a good job of showing you a difference, right?
Okay, so speaking of which, so Courtney, my cousin, is expecting a little girl, and so when I was talking to her, she was like, and this was randomly yesterday, she was just like, I need all the black baby dolls. Like, we gonna have black. She was looking for the black pictures to put on the wall. She was like, they're expensive, but we need everything black.
I don't necessarily disagree with that.
But how do you?
I think that it's
beyond race.
I think it's necessary. Like, so if you have black pictures on the wall, I think that is necessary because media is not going to show you representation of yourself. So you gotta.
That was a shout. Did y'all catch that?
You gotta find it in other ways. So I just think that Disney did a really good job on the movie we were just talking about, the Cinderella movie, where with Brandy and Whitney Houston. You guys remember that movie? But
was that Disney?
I think so. It was
that Rodgers and Hammerstein?
I don't know. It was I don't. It may be Disney. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think
But it was intentional about making the movie multi-ethnic, right? So you had sisters who were from different races, different cultures. You had the princess who was African American.
You know what would be good?
What?
A black under the sea, under the sea.
So yeah, that's
Darling is better.
so that's what we were talking about with the Disney representation. I just think it's important that all cultures and all representations be shown in Disney. They only typically show the black people when it comes to the music side of Disney. That was my only issue with that. So when the music comes, then we can go get the John Legends or the CeeLo Greens or the Pharrells when you do the music. But oftentimes, there's no representation in the movies. Ain't that right?
Yeah, did it. Yeah, did it.
You're at 6 minutes.